guys, this is Annie. I hope you all are doing great tonight. And tonight I have this burgundy and nude color manicure that I hope you guys would enjoy. So stick around and let's get started. Alright, so these are the items I will be using in tonight's manicure, and they will be listed in the description box for you if needed. Starting from my right, I have some masking tape. I have some non-acetone nail polish remover that I'll be using tonight. I have a roller tape brush here that I usually use to clean my stamper with. I have my stamping plate, my stamper, my scraper, and I'm actually going to use some vinyls here on tonight's manicure as well. And I have all my nail polishes here, including my fast drying top coat. And over here I have the tools that I will use, which is some cotton to clean that stamping plate with, a pair of scissors, a cleanup brush, a detailing brush or a drawing brush for the details on your manicure, and a pair of tweezers. So now that we have everything here ready, let's get started. Alright, so here we have most of the nails already completed with my manicure, and I did it tonight because it takes a little while for this manicure, but I wanted to show you in steps how I've done it. So I'm going to work on this hand for you, which is my left hand, and as you could see I have 3 nails already done with the tips already completed, and then these 2 is what I'm going to show you how to work on to get the finished nail, which is this. So the first thing is the color that I've used for my base color is a pretty much nude color, and the one that I have used tonight was the Hansen Insta-Dri, and this was number 114, and it's called nude-tral. So that's it right there, and I put one thick coat of that and let that completely dry. So you have to make sure it's completely dry before you move on to the next step. The next thing I did was I got myself some stencils here, and these, if you're interested, I picked these up on Bottle Monster's site, and pretty much the next step was to do this part of the design, which is to get that V in there. So I'll show you how to do that, and for this I'm going to take one of the stencil with my tweezer, and you're going to line it up very close to what the others have already lined up to be. In other words, the best way to get all of them to be even is to hold your hands out like this, and that'll show you where the points are. The spaces above will be even. So that's exactly what I'm going to do with the stencil, and I'm going to take it and line it up just like that. And before I go sticking it down, just make sure that it's about right from tip to tip here to there, and it looks about accurate. So then you go ahead and you stick it down. Make sure the point of that stencil is straight as you can get it, at least as straight as I can get it as well. Stick that down really well. Now the next part of this is to not get any oils or any sort of stuff on your nails. So if you think you have any oils on your finger, any lotion or anything like that, just go ahead and wipe that out. And then we're going to make that V. And as I'm holding this up, I can see it's a little bit crooked, so I'm just going to straighten that out before we move on. And you're going to want to have 10 of these ready right away. So it looks much better, it looks straight, and as you can see, it's pretty much lined up from tip to tip with the others. So the best thing I did with the other nails was I did all of them at the same time. Put all these little stencils on, all these little vinyls on. And again, I'm just rubbing any extra grease or lotion that my finger has on there that I've transferred over to that nail. And the next thing is to apply that burgundy color. So this here is an old bottle of nail polish that I found that I had in my collection, and it's the Brucci, and this one was number 213. black cherry. So if you can get something close to this, if you like the combination of these colors, that's what you're looking for. It's more like a really, really dark cherry, black cherry they call it. And the way we're going to apply this is to get this line here, this very thin line, you're going to really have to work with steady hands and go just a little bit under that vinyl. So we're going to do this really, really carefully. And you're going to do that on both sides. So here I'm going just a tiny line under the vinyl, making sure it's straight as well. And do the same for the other side. Look at it, see that it looks even to the eye. And once you have that little line there completed, go in and paint the top portion. And be very, very generous with that nail polish because you don't want it to come out too light, and you can't go back and wait for this to dry and apply a second coat, because if you wait for it to dry and then try to pull out that vinyl strip there, it's just going to peel the polish off. So once you have that really thick coat on and you've got that little line at the bottom there, immediately take this vinyl out. And that's what it looks like. And now we have to wait till that dry. You could go ahead and you can put the fast drying nail polish on it right away and wait a little while, but what I did is I actually just did all of them like I said, and once they had the tips completely dried, then I move on to the second step. Alright, so now that we're done with the first step, which is applying that red, the second step would be to go ahead and stamp the gold over that red tip there. So this one, as you saw, is completely dry because that's how I done it so you guys could see. And what you're going to do is you're going to need 2 pieces of masking tape for that. So again, I've done all the nails at the same time, which is the easiest thing to do. So about this size as well. And what you're going to do is pretty much cover the parts that you do not want to be stamping on. So I don't want to stamp on this little red line here as well as the nude color nail polish. So I'm pretty much going to take the masking tape and line it up as best as I can to the peak of that and just wrap it around the bottom, and then I'll do the other side because I don't want the image to go on any part of the nail polish. So there we go, tap that down. And now it's time for the stamping. So for the color I'm using tonight, I'm making sure that's nice and secure in place there. For the stamping color I'm using tonight, it's by Bundle Monster. It's called Chaos. It's off their metal foil collection. And if you like this particular one, I made a video. You can take a look at that for details on this. If you have a gold nail polish, it's about the same. But I do like this one because of the shimmer. And also, the stamping plates I'm using tonight is from my BC collection, and this is plate number 06. And this is the image that I wanted to use, something not too thick and, you know, a lot of details in there. So that's the one. So let's get that image transferred to the nail. And this nail polish goes a very long way, so you don't need to use a whole lot. And there's the image, if you can see it. And then we just transfer it over and immediately remove that masking tape. Once you've done the transferring of the image, go in and just tap it down. There might be some lifted. Just tap it down, make sure it's in there, and then remove the masking tape immediately. The best thing to do too is try and get it to the direction of the edges of the nail polish so it doesn't peel up too much. So in other words, grabbing it from the top and pulling it away. And there you have it. So as you can see, there's a little flake here. I can just brush that out with my nails. There you go. And there you have that. But we're not done yet. Now we need to get that little tiny detailing brush that I was talking about. A very, very fine brush. It's like a pinstriping brush. And grab onto that burgundy, because we're going to do a very thin line by hand right under that gold, right at the edge of it before we go applying the top coat. So I'm just going to tap on it again because I saw some of the gold being lifted. So there we go. And here I'm going back to the black cherry color and pretty much going in right away with my little brush, grabbing some of that nail polish on it, very little bit, not too heavy. And we're gonna line things up. So we're going back over here now and making a nice red thin line to make it look complete, so it's not too raw at the edges. And just follow that line all the way across. Here we go again. See, like right here, if you take a look, you can see a piece of gold protruding in there. So by lining it up this way, it covers that up. So it looks, like I said, it looks a little bit complete. And we do the other side again just to make sure. And once that is done, we can go ahead and apply our top coats, but I'm gonna let that sit for a couple seconds, and I'm gonna go and do the same with this. This is dried already, so let's do this one. So if you want, you can stick around and take a look at that as I do it. Enjoy the music as well, and let's get this one completed. Okay guys, so here we are now. Both of them is done and dried. So now we go ahead and apply your top coat. So of course I'm using my favorite, the out the door fast drying top coat. And you want to make sure these are pretty much completely dry before you go in, because with this color, if you don't wait until it's dry, you're really gonna find that the red is gonna be bleeding through. You know, it's going to have like little lines going down as you top coat, so make sure that's completely dry. Okay, a quick little advice about top coat: when you're doing it over your images, make sure it's a nice thick one. If you're using a thin top coat, if that's what you have and that's what you're using, that's fine as well. Just load your brush up really, really well. Try not to go over the same spot twice, and always cap your nails. I'll show you what I mean. So here my top coat is really nice and thick now because it's also nice and old. So if you could see, that brush is loaded, and I'm going to go through here starting from the end, and I'm trying my best not to swipe over the same spot twice because that would ruin the image and the nail polish. And by capping it, you just take the brush and pass it at the edges of the nail tips here. That prevents the nails from chipping with the polish going from the tips up as you have wear and tear. So we'll do the same for the other nail that we just did. Again, make sure and load that up and gently go over. Do not press on that brush. If you think you need more, go back. It's worth it. Don't try to skimp on the polish and ruin your manicure that you just worked so hard for. And that's it. There you go. So I'll be right back. Alright guys, so that's it. There we have the finished manicure. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video tonight. I know this one has been a little bit of more work, but to me it's worth it. I really do like the look of this one. And the one thing I forgot to mention before was if you have images on your nails around from the stamping, that's where you go in with your little cleanup brush and the non-acetone nail polish remover and gently clean up around the edges, trying not to hit your nail because it'll definitely take off the image. I did not have any cleanup to do on those two nails that I demonstrated on for you, so it totally slipped my mind. But I usually like to do the cleanup right before I polish the top coat on, so you do it according to what you like. But anyway, so this is the end product of this manicure. So again, I do hope you enjoyed the video, and if you have any questions, always feel free to write to me. I will answer them as best as I can. And thank you all very much for watching tonight. Have a good night, everyone. Bye bye.